I'm Lisa Petrillo at Scarpetta by Scott Conan here at the Fountain Blue, celebrating 10 years.
10 years.
10 flipping years, and we've got your digital bite. What is it, Scott?
We are going to make our famous spaghetti tomato basil.
Okay, let's get cooking.
We've been making this since day one,
Wow.
when I started the Scarpetta brand way back in the day. So we're going to start with some tomato sauce.
Okay.
This is fresh tomatoes. We only use fresh tomatoes. We cook them for about 45 minutes, and we crush them with a big tomato masher. And we add a little bit of an infused oil of crushed red pepper, basil, and a little bit of garlic. I'm gonna add a pinch more of the crushed red pepper here, so we develop a little bit more of that depth of flavor.
Okay.
I have the spaghetti cooking in the water here. Now that spaghetti has been cooking for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And the water is salted, so it tastes like, doesn't taste like the ocean, because for me that's too salty.
Yeah.
But it tastes like good broth.
Good broth,
Right?
okay.
If you think about the way your mom or aunt or somebody who cooked,
Yeah.
if that good broth that they would taste, it was never too salty, it was just nicely balanced, that's exactly what we have.
So a
here.
little water goes into the sauce?
So what we'll do is the pasta, the salt permeates the pasta, so the pasta tastes good
Okay.
by itself, and we will also add a little bit of that water there,
love that.
and then reduce it down together, right?
Okay.
And if it were too salty, obviously, then the whole dish would be, as it reduces, it would become overly salted also.
Okay.
Now this is a technique which you see very often in better restaurants, where you cook the pasta about 85% of the way in the water, and then you finish it directly in the sauce, right? So as this cooks down and reduces, a couple things happen. The sauce cooks is absorbed into the pasta. The pasta releases starches, and it's going to start forming that sauce, right? So it adheres to the pasta, and also with the fat that's inside the olive oil, it creates this beautiful emulsion, and it really just adds a nice texture and consistency
It's
overall.
a science behind it. Very cool.
Yeah. Well, it just sounds good when I talk about it. At least I think
impressed.
so. You need to get out more often. All right. So we're gonna cook that for a couple minutes, all together like that. We're gonna add some fresh basil. So I was out this morning harvesting the basil.
You are unbelievable.
That's not true at all. And so we're just gonna add some fresh basil. And again, this is an important aspect, because we want that nice freshness of the basil also to cook into the sauce. That's why we added it at the last moment. So it really stays nice and fresh. You know, in all my travels around Italy and staying there for months on end and all that stuff, the only other place where I had a spaghetti like this, funny enough, was in Benevento, which is my grandmother's and grandfather's hometown. Funny enough. So it's kind of in the DNA, so to speak, you know? So this is one of those dishes that is just an iconic dish of mine.
Simple, tasty, and really
That's right.
authentic.
And you know, we only use fresh tomatoes for this, so it really has that beautiful bite of fresh tomato. It matters, right? Not using canned tomatoes and using fresh tomatoes really makes a huge difference.
I always use the canned tomatoes.
That's why you got to come to Scarpetta here at the Fountain Blue, right? Anyway, all right.
Good.
So this is another little key secret that we use, right?
Oh, a little butter for my
A
hips.
little bit of butter, and this is going to add to the. So if you see this sauce right now, it's nice and red, right? So just a little bit of this butter, it's going to turn into a beautiful orangish hue,
Beautiful thing.
and that you get that beautiful texture and consistency that you really want here. I got some extra virgin olive oil here.
Oh, that's interesting. Put that a little bit on the top.
A little bit on top. But you see what I mean about the texture and the color of that sauce? It's such an important small detail.
And you keep that pasta al dente even though it's been cooking a while.
So because it's a fresh pasta, we have a lot of semolina in it, so it has that texture to it. But technically, here's a good tip. Technically, fresh pasta is never al dente. Al dente pasta is only really with dry pasta. So that's why we have so much semolina in here, so it has a texture to it, but it's not technically al dente. All right, and then a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And then once we add the cheese, it'll see no more fire. It's all done. One of the things we do with this is the presentation of this spaghetti is really important. So we want to make sure we put the pasta down, and then the sauce directly on top of that.
You just got to get that sauce on there.
It's
a beautiful thing.
You know, the word scarpetta is when you grab a piece of bread and sop up what's on the plate. So that's why you need that sauce here. So
It is? I love that.
Yeah. It means little shoe in Italian, and the Italians say that that little shoe is the shape that the bread makes when you make a scarpetta.
And the name of my pasta again?
Pasta pomodoro.
Pasta pomodoro. And that is your digital bite, and it's all mine. I'm Lisa Petrillo.